Hi, welcome back to my decorating series. We're going to go inside and go back to the 9th floor for the last room, which is the gym. So, again, I knew very specific objects for this room. I knew they needed to go down first because I wasn't quite sure of the style. And although there weren't as many things as I had originally remembered, just because there's so many things to try and remember as far as objects, especially the ones I don't use regularly, I don't know why I thought there might be more, but it's okay. Either that or I missed them, which is entirely possible. But I couldn't remember the style of them. And so I wanted to scroll quite a bit and see what things might go in a gym. And as I was scrolling through, I noticed kind of a similarity in like the stone stuff and the futuristic stuff. I actually really liked the fact that I dropped the meal in a cup dispenser in here just because I felt like maybe you could think of it. I mean, I know it shows junk food on it, but like you could think of it like it's dispensing like a protein shake or a algae shake or, you know, whatever health shakes that people are into. But I discovered very quickly that there was objects that I needed from Scrooge's shop. I also did some crafting because I knew there was a treadmill, forgot that it was a time bending thing. So now I'm kind of blocking out the room. I hadn't originally thought about putting the pool in here, but once I found it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna put that in here. And then I started realizing just how massive all of the workout equipment was. So I kind of wanted to put Gaston's workout gym in here, but I didn't really like how it looked with the other stuff. So I sacrificed it. I might try and stick it outside or something. I'm thinking of some kind of training space or something like that. And maybe I could toss it in there just because it would be more appropriate outside. So I felt kind of bad giving it up. And now that I've got everything blocked out, I decided to go ahead and figure out walls and floors. I wanted to keep it simple, another kind of utilitarian space, something that might be easy to maintain and that wouldn't detract from the workout stuff. I kind of wish we had more full-length mirrors. And yeah, I was kind of toying with this Aladdin wall, but I end up going with the brick here in a bit. I can't remember if I'm fixing it now. Soon. I think I struggled trying to find it again. I was like, where the heck is it? Thought it was white, and it's not. It's gray. So there we go. Finally figured out where the heck it was. And I really wasn't sure about windows. I knew mirrors made sense because a lot of gyms will have mirrors, but I don't know. I do a lot of full wall, full length windows in some spaces, and I didn't want to repeat that in here. But I also didn't want to do mirrors on all of the walls. So it takes me a bit to figure out that big blank wall on the opposite side from the door. I also really like those Toontown washers. I thought about if you've ever been to a gym with a pool, they sometimes will have like spin machines to help you get the water out of like a swimsuit or something like that, and that's kind of what I started thinking about them like. But I was also like, you could use those for towels. So when I put them over by the door, I was like, oh, I made these towel racks. Let's put the towel racks next to the little washer, because you could, you know, kind of squeeze them dry and hang them up to dry. And I thought that worked out really well, kind of right by the door. And then I wanted some benches. I wanted a place for people to rest in between working out and swimming or whatever they were doing in here. I considered doing like an award area, but the shelving that we have that you can put stuff on, you can't adjust where it goes on the wall. So I didn't really like the idea of the awards being high up on the wall. So I landed on these banners, and then I couldn't decide between the red or the blue and the green. Then I decided on the blue and the green. I thought the blue and the green and the gold tied in better with all of the stuff that was in here already, like the gray stone, the blue from the kind of futuristic stuff, and then the gold was in some objects as well. So, oh, the mirrors have gold in them. But yeah, again, I kind of wish I had full-length mirrors that would look more like a gem, but you know, we've got what we've got. So Now I'm just kind of fussing with what else could possibly go in here. Oh yeah, I stuck that Ratatouille sign up. I was like, maybe we could pretend like this is where you get your meal, your meal in a cup. But I went with the Scarer posters just because it felt kind of sporty, I guess. I don't know. It was kind of difficult finding decor. Not that this room really needs decor, but like just things that might tie in and fill up some of the little blank spots. And then kind of late in the game, I started thinking about lighting. I really considered using this octopus lamp over the pool because I just thought it looked really cool, but it creates a really bright glare in the mirrors when I go down on the floor. So I think I end up taking it out, but I kind of liked the idea of a touch of Little Mermaid stuff with the pool. But again, with these lights on the walls, I'm not exactly sure why they don't light up. Later, I'm going to realize that I actually have the lighting set up for offset. Yeah, here we go. I didn't realize I'd had it set for 7 hours in the future. I must have left it there from a previous thing I was doing. But no matter what time I change it to, those lights don't light up. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe because I have too many, but I don't know if that would be the only reason why. So anyway, we can pretend it's a game. Oh, and I forgot about these little rugs. And I thought they looked really fitting with all the other blue and green and gold stuff going on. I ended up having to take 2 trips to Scrooge's shop. And I ended up cooking some food. I actually thought I needed to cook the meal in the cup. I was wrong. But then I was like, oh yeah, we have some shakes and stuff. So went ahead and made a shake and scrolled the list just to make sure there wasn't another variation I hadn't thought of. But yeah, that's what these little pedestals are for, is for people who want to set down their shake. And I didn't want to do all 3 pedestals with a shake or a cup or whatever in it. So I was trying to find something to fill the last pedestal. It didn't need to have it, but I settled on the apples because, you know, healthy fruit. All right, well, let's go inside and check it out. Super excited to be done with the 9th floor this week. I liked the idea of this combination of rooms, a locker room, a laundry room, a spa, and a gym, because I felt like the spaces all worked together very well. And so I'm kind of glad I pushed myself to try some things that were a little bit more challenging to me and to use some objects that we have in the game, but like you can't, I mean, I guess you could put some of this stuff in a bedroom, but it's interesting to push myself to create some spaces with some of these things. And didn't end up with a lot of space because these objects are huge, but I think the simplicity of it makes sense because, you know, it's a functional space. You would want to come in here and you would want to get on the treadmill, or you'd want to swim some laps, or you'd want to, you know, do your workout and just keep it simple. It doesn't need to be highly decorated. It doesn't need to have lots of clutter around. And I do a lot of really cluttered spaces, so it's nice to just kind of be like, no, these objects are good enough on their own without having, oh, I really like having the winds of change. I don't know why that fits for this space for me. It feels like a motivational poster, even though we know, you know, where it comes from, like the origin in Monsters, Inc. But yeah, I sometimes feel like when things are simple, I try and overcomplicate it by trying to add some last minute touches, like it might need a little bit more. And it's nice to kind of exercise the, no, you don't really need to add to it. It's fine the way it is. So even though there were limitations to the types of objects I really wanted to put in here, like the mirrors or the lighting or whatever, I still like the fact that I was able to figure out a solution for all of those things and make this room work. So moving on to the 10th floor next week, and I'm super excited about it. That's it for today's decorating adventure. If you liked this video, a thumbs up is a great way to let me know, and a subscription will keep you up to date on my latest shenanigans. If you want to hang out with me live, I stream on YouTube and Twitch on Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. And I'll see you next time.